Alright. Let's see if it works. Hold on. Open the door. There we go. It's not. This ain't straight anymore right there. But yeah. How's it going? Welcome.
PP.
Absolutely. So I just had to, like, I was trying to practice a little bit before the race, but as it turns out, the whole wheel crashed, and I had to restart everything. And I just updated the graphics drivers, so I hope that works. And let's hope that it lasts now for the next two and a half hours, because that would be kind of sad. But yeah, I'm quite sure that the next sim racing wheel I buy won't be Fanatec. So there's that. Now, how long is quali? 12 minutes, so that's 3 laps. Okay, 3.2. Alright, we have 2 minutes. I'm gonna try the BMW. This is the last chance race for the BMW. If it doesn't work now, then it's done. Right? Because on this track, and like Monza, the BMW is pretty good. The Ferrari is, like, it's basically BMW and Ferrari, and both of those cars are cars that I have in my repertoire. There's a couple of Peugeots. Porsche, not a car that I want. The Porsche is understeery as hell. Doesn't drive very nicely, but if the BMW doesn't drive nice now for the next 2.5 hours, then it's out, basically, and it will be between Ferrari, Peugeot, Genesis. And eventually, I'll probably have it down to one. Well, probably Ferrari and probably end up with Genesis and Peugeot. But let's see how the Beamer handles the next 2 hours. Alright, hold on. I'll be back in a second until the race, or well, qualifying, begins. Whee!
Does anyone have a bunch of beans? You all want some beans, don't you? Some legumes. You want some beans. And I know you do.
My car sucks, he says. What car is he in? Wait, do we have... What? Oh, this is split 2. Why am I in split 2? Doesn't make any sense. Okay, well, that's life. Okay, mediums? Mediums. How many tires? Wait, how many tires do we have? 12 or 10? 10. Ugh, come on. That sucks. Okay, so basically I'm gonna need the quality tires. Hold on, is the brake fine? Oh god. The brake pedal sometimes just has like tiny oopsies, and after you have to reset it. So because if I don't want to have drive on the straight with like 0.5% brake pedal. It's not very good for the brake.
Speed 100.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I invent new sentences all the time. So there's that.
Yeah, you're supposed to, because then I won't have anything to analyze.
Okay, so I'm just an experiment, basically.
You're very self-aware too for an experiment.
Oh no. But yeah. Why is it so wobbly on the straight as well? Like. Why is it so wobbly? I think I could do 4 laps, but I'm just gonna do 3 and save the tires, because I really don't know what I'm gonna do here in terms of strategy. Because I mean, if it does get wet, then it doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna start on fresh tires, obviously, so that I don't, because if I start on the used set and then it gets wet, obviously this is the BMW, so it's gonna be terrible in the wet, which is why I'm driving this car today. It's the last chance BMW race. If it works well, then it stays in the rotation. If not, then the Ferrari is the Le Mans car, even though the Ferrari is pretty twitchy as well. It used, like, the thing is, both the BMW and the Ferrari got worse from the new tire model. Right, the BMW got more understeery, which it previously wasn't with the old tire model, and the Ferrari got more twitchy. And previously, it was kind of, the BMW was very twitchy on the rear, but not on the braking, and the Ferrari, which is rock solid. But yeah, the tire model update, like, I mean, it was last year, but it kind of made both worse, which is an achievement. And then there's like a couple of, there's like a lot of Porsches, Cadillacs, stuff in here, which those are cars that I can't, especially the Cadillac. I just can't stand that thing. I'm never gonna drive that ever. Every time, you know, every time I jump into the Cadillac for like, oh, is it maybe it works. It never works. It's just 3 corners and I'm dead instantly every time. There's a good reason why I'd rather be in Split 1 than Split 2, because in Split 1, my expected position will be a lot lower, meaning that I would have way less pressure to do well, and then I could just be like, hey, P10, I gain rating. But here, I actually have to try. Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, the BMW is still quite twitchy on the rear, but now it's also understeery. Or way more than it was with the old model. But, I mean, the Genesis is basically the best hypercar in my opinion. I mean, sure, recency bias, but it just drives a lot like the LMP2. You know, it's very, very nice to handle. But the thing is, the Genesis doesn't have top speed. So on this track, it doesn't work. You can't race anybody. The BMW doesn't like curbs, which is, I mean, that's another thing about especially the Lamborghini and the Cadillac. They just, you can't drive over curbs, so they just die. Maybe I'll increase the ride height. I don't know. It's the same like going into the corner after Indianapolis. If you get on the curb in the BMW, you just did. So, yeah. By the way, I don't know. I think we're all being, like, either I'm the lore master or I'm being massively spied on, right? Because remember, I was thinking about, hey, I'm gonna get another train because why not? You know. You know what? Like, I had them in the basket for a while, and all of a sudden, 50 euros less. Never the case before, ever. Yeah, because I have like this price tracker that shows you the price and whenever it was. All of a sudden, like, 50. Poof. So, I don't know, either I have magic powers or I'm just lucky. This is
Just
gonna,
train.
yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, this... I'm gonna have to be very careful in this corner because the car just does not work here at all. It's just awful in that corner. But that one corner specifically though. This is gonna be like a 33 or something. Like I'm gonna be really slow here. Probably gonna be all the way at the back of the hypercar field, to be honest. Gee. It just doesn't turn out of the corner as nicely. Especially not as the LMP2. .9. Ew. Last. That's wonderful. I mean, I could do 2 laps, but... see. I mean, I'm gonna be at the back for quali, but that's like always the case. I don't know why, but like I'm always quicker following other drivers than like driving on my own like this. You know? Because in the race I've got a guy in front of me. I can see his pace. I'm like, okay, he's going there. I gotta do this, and I can outpace him and then overtake him. And then I find the next guy, and then I'm gonna be like, okay, he's doing this, and I'm gonna jump that guy. But in quali, you obviously don't have that. Yeah, let's see. 26.8. Certainly can't do that. I'm probably gonna spin out of that Indianapolis corner. Or like, what's it called? I don't know. I don't know what it's called actually. Forgot it. That 90-degree. Really slow corner. No. Yeah. I mean, currently with the delta I have right now, the 1 second, I'm still 13th. Well, let's see. Stop. Oh my god. Yeah, that was terrible. Rear locking from hell. What the heck car? Yeah, basically, just for reference, in the LMP2, my best time in qualifying trim is a 28.4. So with a hypercar, a car that's quicker, like quite a lot quicker. Oh my, okay. Well, that's over. Yeah, I think this car's also dead to me, to be honest. What do we have here? 19. I'm gonna be 16th. Because I don't think these... Oh, this guy's gonna have a time. Yeah, I'm gonna be like last from the hypercars. But yeah. Okay, full fuel. And fresh tires. Mediums. Gonna put this one up. Save. I'm gonna get go one higher here. And load. I go one higher on the wing. I'm gonna go P4. Let's see. Let's leave that. Could increase the ride height maybe, but that's obviously gonna make it slower. It's like the thing about Le Mans is, you know, the cars I'm good with, the Genesis and the Peugeot, are not good at Le Mans. So yeah. So I might try this again on Sunday. Right. Might do 2 of these. We'll see. We'll see if I've got time for that. It's gonna take quite a while till we get out of qualifying. I think next Friday I'm gonna play Forza again though. And no, I'm not gonna waste the last precious couple of weeks on Blitz while Blitz is still there. It's kind of I mean I checked the subreddit again because they're doing like this test today, and everybody's like, oh, my phone overheats, oh, my phone doesn't work. It's like they're done. Like, just there's no way. There's no way they're gonna recover that. There is no way they're gonna recover that. Like, impossible. It's a shame, really, because it used to be a great game. I mean, this thing's.
Next Friday, I'll be having a examination on all my courses.
Damn, good luck with that. So, this thing's hella buggy, but it's like it has room to improve, you know? It's like it's not a consistent downhill trajectory yet. It will be eventually, but not yet. So let's see. It's also what I want to do. I mean, I want to drive the LMP2 and all this, but unfortunately, there is no ELMS LMP2 in this. But let's see. I mean, there's going to be a new update soon-ish, where hopefully they fix the LMP2 tire bug, making that car perfect. And then, yeah, I'll be driving the LMP2. Hey, I'm actually last from the hypercars. Woo! Let's go. That is beautiful. There's only it only goes up. But yeah, that's kind of funny. Like, my best LMP2 time would be with my best LMP2 time in the LMS LMP2. I would be 10th right now in the hypercars. It is absolutely shocking how useless I am with the hypercars compared to the P2. It is insane. Like, I am faster in a car that's 2 seconds a lap slower. Hold on, I'll be right back. Give me a second.
Do you have any bean enjoyers in here? Because I need to know if you exist. I know you want beans and talk about beans. You can't hide forever. Come on now, you want to talk about beans. You can talk about other legumes too. Don't be shy. I know there are 2 people of you listening to this. Or one of you. Victor. Victor. Victor.
Damn, forgot to swap from softs. Though, it's gotta suck. All right, full car. Let's go. Let's see what we can do. 41 laps. 12. Let's see. Well, are those quality tires cooked? That's the question. I mean, the hypercar tires aren't like that bad when it comes to overheating, you know, but I did cook them a little bit, like I spun with them, so I don't know. Let's see. Well, the BMW is already living on very borrowed time after the Last times I drove them in Bahrain and Imola, which was an absolute disaster. But one final chance. Because the funny thing is, the first 2.4-hour race I ever did was in the BMW. So, will it be the last? Well, no. It won't be the last 2.4-hour race, but maybe the last in the BMW. I mean, it might be the setup as well, but I mean, I can do it with the Genesis and the Peugeot. So I don't know what the thing is with this one. Don't forget, guys, the race is always won in turn 1. Remember, that's right. You win the race in turn 1. I mean, my wheel's probably gonna crash anyway, so it doesn't really matter what's gonna happen. But yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Let's see. There's a lot of Porsche. I mean, well, the P1 is a Peugeot, so maybe I'll try the Peugeot on Sunday. Because the 2.4 hours series, like the championship, it's doing Qatar this week, and I don't want to do that. I mean, it's been a bad couple of weeks in Le Mans, because it's been Coda, Paul Ricard, Qatar, and Portimao all over the place, and those are the tracks that I just don't drive. So those 4 specifically, I just refuse to. And yeah, it was a pretty bad couple of weeks there. But yeah, we'll go 12 laps and then no tire change. Now, what do you think? Now the problem could be, like, I'm starting last here. If there's crashing ahead for the hypercars, then the LMP2s might crash into me, right? Because if I had to stop, there's crashing ahead, I might have stopped, and then crashing ensues. But yeah, I mean, my race pace is always better than my quali pace. We know that now. Plus 10 positions is not rare for me. But please don't start on the corner. Okay, good. Didn't start on the corner. Let's go. Lol. What are you guys doing? I mean, sure, this is a bad idea going 3 wide, but those guys are such a terrible. What is this start, yo? This has been an awful start right here. For that guy. Nope, somebody's flying now. Nobody flew. Yeah, the LMP2s are right behind us. So, no deaths. Oh. Yep, here comes the LMP2 leader. Oh boy. That's 2 dead already. I mean, those some lengthy repairs right there. I think the LMP2s here, obviously it's the nerfed WEC version with less power. But they can do about 338, 340 in the race. And if this guy is really good, then he can do 335s if he's really good. He can do 335 and can pretty much challenge the worst of the worst hypercar drivers, which is me. Yeah, 2 positions gained already. Like, basically not dying is basically a top 10 guaranteed in this kind of race, especially at Le Mans. But for that, I have to not die. If the BMW can do that for me, then it stays on the list with 4 cars. Because I want to have 4 cars in rotation, right? If it can't do it, I might retry the Porsche. Like, the Porsche and the Toyota are the only 2 that could make it on the list. Right. Everything else is like dead to me, especially the Cadillac and the Alpine. Did amazing. Poopa. Well, guys, that guy's DNF'd. But yeah. Was that? Okay.
Got distracted by something, but now I'm back and just want to fucking share your banger recipe I had for dinner.
Ooh, nice.
It's lentil soup, but it's a historical recipe that would have been accepted by ancient Greek Stoics.
Interesting.
Yeah, because Stoicism is a specific philosophy that basically tells you that you're supposed to derive joy and satisfaction from what you already have, and not to seek out excess. But anyway,
So basically, goon.
I mean, they definitely tell you to not desire gooning.
Yeah, but if they say you wanna like use what you already have, I mean, you have a penis. You know. So it's like it would be kind of straightforward to interpret it that way.
Well, it still has to do with some form of desire.
Boring. I mean, this is also
Anyway.
gonna be boring because I'm gonna like drive at the back of the hypercar field the entire time. And I was about to do this anyway, but I would have rather done it in split 1, right? Because then I wouldn't have lost as much rating than this. But yeah, basically, soup.
Yeah, lentil soup. I had red lentils, onion, garlic, vegetable bouillon, coriander, ground coriander, salt, honey, white vinegar, and mint.
Neat. Oh, there's another Beamer.
Highly recommend that.
Alright. I'll make a mental note of that.
Well,
Alright.
well, that mental note is unreliable, so luckily there's already a reference point that you can look at because it's historical cooking. It's a YouTube video. See.
YouTube. I'm gonna be I think I'm like 5 seconds off the pace at the hypercar level. Which is hilarious. Because in like the Bahrain prototype race, I'm in the top 100. Like easily. So, like 75th or something like that. So not even that awesome, but still pretty good. But in that corner specifically, the thing is the LP2, you can sort of ride the curb and like go there, but the hypercar you have to stay away from that massively. Giga stay away from that. What the hell? Oh, don't try. You fucking. Look at that, look at that. If I wouldn't have pulled out, that guy would have just murdered me right there. Because he went all the way to the edge of the track and did not leave any space. So yeah, that's lovely. Yeah. The goal of this race, as in all 2.4-hour races, is to survive. You know, in a sprint race, you can, like, fire it, whatever, it's 30 minutes, but in a race like this, I don't care where I place, I just want to finish the damn race. Because, I mean, if you finish, you're kind of, in a lot of cases, guarantee the top 10. Like, I don't think, because there's probably going to be another six hypercars in this lobby that are going to die. You can basically put your money on it. How much money do I put on it?
Drink the money.
Especially if it gets wet. Like, everybody's gonna die in Indianapolis then. But yeah. Damn. I see that's the problem. Like, there should be different ratings for different classes, right? Because I'm bang smack S2 in the LMP2, right? I would not deny saying I'm a top 100 LMP2 driver. But in the hypercar, I can be lucky if I'm top 1,000 out of, like, probably 2,000. And in the GT3, I can be happy if I'm top 10,000. This is like the Ferrari and specific tracks, because I was doing pretty well with that. You idiot. See what happens? See what happens? See what happens? Jesus. Well, I mean, he's gonna come back. Or DNF. We'll see. Come on. I mean, I didn't see it exactly. Maybe the Porsche did close the door, right? And was driving dangerously there. But given what I saw of that BMW just a lap before, I'm decidedly gonna side with the Porsche for now. Yeah, nobody's fuel saving. I mean, 77, everybody's like on the same energy, so nobody's like really fuel saving. So it's kind of funny that I do all, like, most of the hypercar races I do them on stream, and then most of the LMP2 races I just do them whenever, right? Because they're half an hour most of the time. Because I don't do the ELMS, I just do the prototype challenge when it's good. So I don't stream it a lot. So I just suck on video, and then I go home and be like, hello, I'm kind of good in the LMP2 actually. Ugh! My best LMP2 race lap was a 29.6, so it would be a shock if I couldn't be that in the hyper in this race. It would be an absolute joke. But yeah, so what I'm gonna do to start off, double stint these tires. That's the, like, I'm gonna keep these on. These are gonna stay where they are, unless, you know, I die. Nope, we have a yellow. Yellow resolved. Okay, the car understeers there. Okay, that guy has damage. That's another one. That's another one. I mean, the guys in like 10, 11, 12. Maybe, you know, if I get quicker, if I find pace, if I find confidence in the car, I can fight them. That's, I think, the problem with the hypercar, you know, just to have no confidence in their ability. It's sort of like with the Genesis, it's there. Genesis at Spa, I'm there. You know, I trust that thing. But here, Especially the BMW right now. I just don't trust it at all. And then I'm gonna be 7 seconds off the pace. Which, like 25s are basically the absolute maximum top pace what the really good drivers do with the hypercars, the car hypers. Now it's a 27. Like that's what I want to try and get to. It's like 28, 27.9, right? That's where I want to be with the hypercar consistently. Yeah, that BMW I think has damage. He might pit. He might pit. I'm not going to try to get involved now. We only have medium grip as well right now. We don't have a saturated track, so the good times aren't even possible. Like the 25s are not possible right now anyway, because it's a medium grip track. So that 27 is already about the maximum that is possible. Like maybe 26 something. But yeah, it's only a medium grip track, so those really high lap times aren't even possible. Hello, June, how you doing?
Amogus.
This track would be so much better without the 4 chicanes. Like, so much better. Insanely much better. How's it going? The guy behind me can play catcher, right? It's like if I have a really fast driver behind me, like that guy, he's the 3rd highest rated driver in the lobby, so he is going to be quicker than me. I mean, if we're in LMP2, you know, I'd be there, but basically what I'm going to do is when that guy closes up, I'm not going to contest it, right? I mean, I'm just not just going to lift on the straight, right? But when he goes for it, I'm not going to contest it, right? Because then, that guy ahead, he's already made a bad move against the BMW, or the BMW made a bad move against him, I don't know. But they already had the coming. They were already coming together. So maybe that repeats. And I don't want to stand in the way of that. Maybe the Porsche has damage as well from an earlier incident, so who knows. That's another important thing, that some people might be nursing damage or got some kind of issues in the car. Oh, there we go. Well, that was unnecessary. Don't even need the other BMW then. Now the problem we have this guy ahead now who's struggling or has damage. So this is a position I don't want to be in, right? The guy behind me is quick, but the guy ahead of me is slow. So I'm just gonna show the inside here to say no. That we're not gonna... Like, there are a couple of corners where I just won't allow myself to be overtaken unless the guy is, like, already next to me. Like for example, into Ascari or into Indianapolis, I'm just not gonna... If they're not already next to me before Indianapolis, I won't allow them to be next to me. Right, I'm just gonna close that door immediately. It's simply a issue of I don't want to die, and I don't trust these people to not facilitate that. I mean, I have no cuts yet. I could rack up a few, but... yeah. This is now a problem. LMP2, be careful, don't. What is this guy doing? It's like the weirdest way of letting yourself be lapped I've ever seen. Well, I got 0.5 now. Yep. But yeah, I've got 6 points till the end of the race, so we'll be just fine. Yeah, that soft runner might get really big problems if that track temperature's 40 degrees. That guy's gonna get really big problems with the temperatures, I think. Yep, the BMW is behind me now. He's already gotten the Porsche. Obviously, I'm not going to lift for it. Duh. But he's probably going to get like a much better exit out of this corner. And on Mulsanne, I'm just going to go... just going to go set the outside and then let him go. Or will I? Yep. I will. Bro has the sook! It's probably also running a lower wing. It's probably running a lower wing. Oh, that's a dead LMP2. Don't steer into me. Ferreira. It's not a streamer guy. I've seen that guy quite a lot. That was, when I did the 2.4 hours of Sebring, I don't know if that's the same, but it was a C Pereira. In the Aston, right, the guy, I was about to lap him, because it was in the GT, I was in the LMP, the hypercar, the Peugeot, and he spun right in front of me, and then, like, spun into me, but he was still sideways, so basically, I caught him. And I had front damage, but we're fine. So that guy owes me. Because I violently corrected his spin by basically crashing into him. Because he spun right, like, literally 2 meters in front of me. Wait. That's the thing with the BMW, you know, where, like, especially in that corner, it can understeer there. Oh, he's lost the car. Well, that was pointless. Have a good one, buddy. Now you need to drive away. You just need to... Goodbye. Leave. Leave. Okay? Just leave. Throw a couple bones my way up ahead. What the fuck? Okay, the Porsche spun as well. Huh? Oil on track. It was really weird. What the heck? Just came out of nowhere. Maybe there is oil on track. Oh, Pia. I think that's is that a streamer as well? Some French streamer, I believe. Why is he P12 though? Like Pia or something like his name. Why is it behind me? I don't like that. Cause that guy maybe he has more LMP2 pace than I have hypercar pace. Well, it is the nerfed LMP2, so he won't. But Yeah. Ugh, 8 seconds. What was that? It just went. It that kind of lagged as well. You know, like the game lagged and the car just went. So I don't even know if that was like me doing something wrong or is the game just being like, okay, you spin now. I have to check my tires right after this. Okay, we're going 12 laps. What's the... I mean, the tires are fine. I mean, the rear is 91, but that's okay. There's no biggie there. Not an issue. Not an issue. I'm really surprised that Ferrari with the softs is alive, because his tires must be like 100 degrees. Alrighty. Alright, what's the topic of the day? 13.
I'm the topic man.
I mean, I don't want to like always. I just decide what I talk about. You know, I'm just gonna do some democracy here. I mean, there's not a lot of democracy for real in the world, but how about we do some?
What kinda?
I don't know. Trains? No, I don't know.
But you should watch some Thomas.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched a couple of clips, but I never actually watched any of the episodes. Right. So we might expect a couple of crashes up ahead because the hypercars are going through the GT field now.
Well, if you like crashes, then you will absolutely enjoy Thomas because they're friggin' abundant of crashes.
I know from like John Oliver that in the English version they took one of the trains and just like boarded him into a tunnel forever.
What do you mean English version? That's still also in the American dub as well.
Yeah, I just know that
It's
like
just narrated. It's
by
just
Ringo.
narrated differently as to why he remained in tunnel. But in actuality, he was later released because no, I just got my new coat on my. I just got my new coat paint. I don't want to get dirty. I want to stay in here.
Yeah, it does that. I don't know. Okay. Oil on track.
But seriously though, I do believe that it's a bit of a myth that he stays in the tunnel to rot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but, no, because in
exaggeration.
the English dub, you basically say that he's gonna like stay there forever. Like, I know that from. I think it's a piece about freight trains from John Oliver. You gotta have a look at that because basically at the end of it, they built like an entire Thomas the Tank Engine set, like, you know, with real models and stuff like that, and they just had like a giant made a giant explosion. So that's what I know. But yeah. Okay, so what's the let me think. What's the point there in that corner? What's different in that corner than in all other corners? Well, the camber is like the track goes like up like this, so it's bent like so. Perhaps that's got something to do with it. Don't know, but we're gonna have to see this lap now. I'll have to be careful. Okay, but I need 5 positions, basically, to fall past me, to not lose rating. But I am gonna guaranteed lose rating because I was last in qualifying. So I basically need to be like top 7 to not actually lose rating. But yeah. Definitely gonna need 5 people to fall past me, or like, if I want to like not lose rating, it has to be 7. But those guys are pretty close together, like 10 seconds ahead. So that's a gap that you can close with like traffic and shit, but not with the. Non-existence of pace that I have. That was like, holy sketchy right there. Obviously, I'm going to lose more time now because they're already through the GTs and I'm not. So it's actually like about 19 seconds gap. It's going to be a larger gap. Go over BMW. Ah! Jeez, okay, that's dead. That's the Ferrari with the soft. Maybe they did overheat, who knows? Poor guy. Yeah, like, I genuinely hate the four chicanes. Whoever came up with that, screw them. This is the worst part of track that exists. On the planet. On the planet! Hello, Lego, how you doing? Rally stream. Well, I am kind of already driving off the track half the time. Oh, that guy spun. Jesus. I'll drive into the back of maybe
But usually call a fidget spinner.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going? Okay. Ugh. Well, like I said, 19 seconds. It's actually pretty good because now I can take most of the rest on the straight. Yeah, 19.7, 18.5. Kenturk. You know, I want that guy to be like my hound. You know, like I want him to race other people hard, force other people into mistakes, and then collect them. You know, corpse maker and corpse collector, basically. That's why I am S2 in LMP2 as well, because I let people go that are more than like half a second quicker a lap. I race people that are between, that are like half a second to 0 slower, faster, because obviously, like, why would you not? I'm not gonna just let you go. I'm not crazy. And then everybody else, I'm just gonna drive past them because they're slow. That's 2 points. Yep. Starting to figure out how the system works as well. But yeah, I have 2.6 stints left, so it's basically 3 stops. So I now used up 1 pit stop worth of cuts, but that's okay. Yeah. I think that Ferrari is, depending on the pace, depending on the weather, depending on the conditions, or like, is he going to switch tires and whatever, I think that guy is naturally acceptable. Fastest first sector is 32.7. I did 32.7 in quali, so... in the first sector, so... I have more in me in this car, but I just don't trust it as much as the LMP2, because the thing is the LMP2. You can throw it wherever you want. You can throw it left, you can throw it right, you can... whatever. If you set it up right, you know, roll bars at the rear basically off, and put the brake balance forward, then... basically, it's not going to fail you. Because whatever you do, it's going to turn, but it's never going to turn too much. It's going to do exactly what you want it to do. Whereas these cars, they're just a lot more... obviously they're heavier and bigger, but they're just... always nice to drive. It's like, you know, whenever I go from LMP2 to Peugeot, I feel like I've just become a bus driver. Or I'm driving Euro Truck Simulator. You know? It's kind of interesting that I have the least amount of energy available. However, I can do 3 laps. Like everybody else. So don't need to pit early. And they can't do an extra lap because the consumption per lap is about 8%. It doesn't even show the percent. It should show the percentage. Okay, 7 liters per lap. 21 is 3 laps. 27 is 3.8. Yeah, this is not enough to get on energy. That's another thing with the hypercar that I can't do. I can't Lyco to go quicker. With the LMP2 I can. It's pretty easy. With the lift and coasting with the LMP2 is really easy because all you have to do is lift at the hypercar braking points and then brake about 20-30 meters later. And that way you can like save 0.1 lap per lap. This car does not like curves. I mean the LMDHs generally don't. With the LMP2 you can just jump over them, it does not care. I don't know, maybe God works at Orica. Alright. How's my tires looking? Yeah. 15%. Another 2 laps. The rears are attacked from that little oopsie. So let's go about 20% per stint. We have 3, so that's 60%. So I could basically go to the end on this set if I wanted to. Could triple stint them. But I won't. But they're not coming off now, obviously. Also doubt that anybody ahead is going to switch tires. There. I have 2 objectives for this race. Survive, and don't get lapped. 26.9. Damn. Because obviously now the fuel is lower. Pace goes quicker. Yeah, like 29, 28, that's like what the medium drivers do, you know, the good hypercar drivers. Where I should be, basically. And because the 25s, those are just like insane people. You know, those aren't even real. Okay, 2.1 laps. Loof. Oppa! Not Gangnam Style, but something like that.
That was random. You let yourself get distracted by that instead of just the basic whoop-wah.
Yeah, true. Wait, did Kentrick just die? No. Yeah, this thing just doesn't do curves. Just to make it really, really high. 33.3, so I basically could go half a second quicker if I had the balls and that didn't have an LP2 in the way. Okay, I mean this is the last lap I can go quick. That can count, and the next lap is gonna have to be stopped. So try and get a 29 just on the board, just for meme's sake. Not gonna happen. But, you know, man can dream. I mean, I'm losing most of my time in the second sector at Limor, which is the fun part. Like this one. But this is the third sector now, but I'm losing most of my time in the second sector. It's kind of weird that Limor sectors, because the third sector is like 33 seconds, right? And then the last sector is 2 minutes, almost. Like 1 minute 30 on his own, because it does not make sense. Like if you have 3 sectors, you want to make them like roughly equal, right? Or at least somewhat. So maybe like do the first sector till the chicane. But no. The entire second half of the lap, that is longer, is 1 sector. Ah, fuck. That's it. It's not even quicker! It's not even faster at the end. I lost that half a second again. I'm consistently shit. My theoretical lap time is is a whole second better than this. Oh god. You know, like if you put my best sector 1, best sector 2, best sector 3 together. How do I have less energy than everybody else? I mean, I'm not really Lycoing at all, but are they really not saving? I mean, Cantor's also at 8. I mean, the leader is at 13, right? He's got 5% more energy. You do need about 8% for a lap, so it doesn't really... I don't think he's gonna get another one out of it. Even though, I mean, he's at 12%. He's sort of at the end... That leader might get another lap out of it. Would be good knowledge for Sunday. I'll do it again. But everybody else is on 1 lap. Because P1 might... I mean, he has 3%. He should... the leader should be able to do another lap, but everybody else can't. Don't die. Beautiful. I think these are... I mean, because these are training events for the real 24 hours of Le Mans in game, because there's probably going to be I have joined a team, by the way, of people, so if the 24 hours of Le Mans is on, I have people to drive it with, so that's nice. Now, I would prefer doing in the LMP2, but I don't think they're going to have enough people to do the LMP2. But, I mean, there's like five teams, I think, so one has to do LMP2, right? And I'll just be like, hey, I'm just gonna join that. Always hypercar. Ain't that right, eh? I think the race leader can do another lap. I think he's over. I think he's already over line, but he has to deal with all the GT3s and I don't, so. Right, Stanfield. Yeah, there's no way, like. How the P2s, have they pitted already? They must have already pitted, right? With 2 fresh tires. 100% VE. Oh fuck, I gotta drive through. This idiot, man! What the fuck? What a asshole. I try to like... Oh my god. Jesus fucking... I hit the wrong button! I wanted to hit the flash button, but I hit the pit limiter button. God damn it. I have to like put them somewhere else. I don't like this is I think it's never been a problem. It's never been a problem, but I don't thinking about it now, having the pit limiter and the flash button right next to each other can cause problems. But yeah, that guy just killed me. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, and I gotta drive through because I hit the damn wrong button, but that's on me. That's on me. But yeah, the guy spun me in the pit lane because he's a fucking cock. So, what the huh? Didn't even drive through. I gotta fucking stop go. Jesus. Okay. I think I'm a bit like. Wait, does it give you a stop go if you go above 70? Alright. That's probably a 10-second. Yeah, Jesus. What a cunt. I mean, I'm gonna report that. So... yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Wait, where's the Ferrari? He has the... could he do another lap? Well, your opinion on that? Absolute brain damage from the, I think it was a Peugeot? Because I saw him release, right? I saw him, he's about to go, and I wanted to flash him, but I hit the... like, I had my finger between the 2 buttons, instead of on one, and I hit both. So, this absolute okay. There's nobody ever. That's the thing about the pit lane. Nobody ever checks because here's the thing. He's stationary. I have the right of way. You know, he has to wait for me. I don't have to brake. But yeah, nobody ever pays attention in the pit lane. So I do appreciate that. I've now lost 40 seconds because of that. Beautiful. P30. What can you do? I mean, the guys behind they're not a threat. Like, basically, I'm last. And that Porsche... I mean, the Porsche was right behind me. He lost 18 seconds. He's going slower. So, there's 1 hour and 40 minutes left. I could catch that Porsche again, right? If he keeps going that slowly. But other than that, this is basically over. I hope it's just a 10 second stop go and not a like 100-second stop go, which is what you get for exceeding your fuel allocation. Like if you're at 0% fuel, 0% virtual energy, then you get a 100-second stop go. But yeah, that is. The question is, I've now had 2 years where I had the flash button and the pit lane button right next to each other. I've never had this before, so I think I'll just leave it. Don't think it's an issue. I just had in the heat of the moment, a erroneous grip. But yeah, let's serve it immediately. I think I went like 80 or something. Ball looks. Okay, let's see. 10 seconds, please be 10 seconds. 10 seconds, okay, good. I can survive that. I can live that down. I mean, wait, the Porsche was even further behind me, though, because I was, right, I got spun as well, so I not only lost that time, so I lost another, yeah, so I think I should be able to catch that Porsche again, hopefully. Check his lap times. Okay, 20 seconds. That's doable. If he's not that quick, then that's possible. Maybe he finds his pace and then he's gonna catch me. He's gonna get quicker. Or maybe he switched tires. It's possible. Ugh, jeez. He's going quicker now. Nope, actually he's not. Was that Gully Chio the guy that Unsafe released into me? Because that would be the 4th Italian to murder me in the span of like 4 weeks, I think. That's a bit more. It's a bit longer ago that that one. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. I think Italians have something against me. Like I think this is like a grudge going on against me from Italians against me. You know. So. Yeah. Obviously, because of that stupid shit, I'm now gonna get lapped as well, probably by the end of the race. Oh god. I mean, the stop go, I did that to myself, but it was basically caused by that guy just being insane and me just like, he's literally driving into me. I'm gonna have to warn him, and then I accidentally released the pit limiter. 13 on a rate of lol to you're an idiot. What? How would you rate that?
Bleh. That's rating.
Just blue.
Yes.
Okay.
Expect the unexpected.
Oh damn. Wait, Kanturk is now 56 ahead. So with the stop go, well I lost about. What? Well, but he would have been like a lot further ahead. Did he have trouble? Is there gonna be a rain in this, by the way? $27.9. No, he's good. 2.2 stints. So if it does rain, it has to rain. In a minimum of, like it should rain no earlier than 7 laps from now. Or 5, because in the rain you use a lot less fuel. So you can do the stint, you can draw out the stints. 34 by Rodillion. So if he keeps doing 34s, then I'm gonna catch him. And that would be an important catch, because he has higher rating than me, so I can have a little bit of that. Now let's see. So I lost a minute. From the whole ordeal. 20-second spinning in the pit lane, and fuck it. I don't have time for this shit. That's 1, but I don't care. Yeah, it's 1 point. Wait. Alright, let's see. 1.5, 90 minutes. Will I do another race after this, though? That's the question. Hold on. It's now 17. 1 hour. It's don't think I'll be able to do the prototype challenge because it starts at half. So at like 23:30 I could do that then, right? And then be like done at 10 past midnight. But yeah, let's see what's on right after this, because depending I'll do another one or not. But yeah. I mean, I need... Oh, Ebert. Ebert's losing time. It's just a spin. And I don't need spins, I need DNFs. I need, like, proper, solid DNFs. 5 of them. Because, if they have to damage repair, you know, basically I had to do the stop-go, they'll still be ahead, even with the damage repair. Oh, there's... Oh! Order and you shall receive. There's a DNF right there. Poor guy. I mean, it's like, I don't want them to DNF, right? But it's obviously to my advantage if they do. So, I appreciate it if they DNF, but I don't actively want them to. Radillion is now getting quicker. Maybe he did switch tires. Be weird though. .31.5, okay, so he's getting quicker. Fuck, call idiot. Wonder what he did. I think he had to go into the pit lane and repair something as well. But like, he's still ahead. Cause that fucked so badly in that pit lane. Yeah, I lost a minute of that. I lost a minute. Oh, and I lost another 15 seconds. What the fuck, car? It's cold. You shouldn't have hot tires. You shouldn't do that. 5 seconds. Yeah, okay. Don't think I can catch the Porsche. Again. I think he might have slapped on new tires. That's why he was so far behind. Well, let's see. Everything's still to play for. But whatever the situation is the next stop, I will need new tires for the next stop. I don't want to drive these another one. I mean, I could have switched to softs, but I don't have enough tires available. So, yeah. 329.0. Now, trains.
More train.
So I got, basically what I did is, I took a lens, because I had quite a couple of lenses, as you know, and I looked at my Lightroom catalog, and I was like, okay, which are the 3 out of 11 that I use the least? Right, and then I went through those 3, and then I was like, okay, which of these 3's pictures are like shitest? right? And then I got rid of that one and converted it into train. Nope, that's another DNF behind. And I found a little interesting thing. I haven't gotten it yet, but I'll see if it works. Right, one of these passenger cars, right, with internal lighting, that costs like $20, and new if you buy the thing and the lighting, it's like 100. So let's see if it works. Because if the lighting doesn't work, it doesn't really matter because 20 is still like a steal for something that costs 60 new. And yeah, let's see if that works. Because, I mean, I sent you the picture. There are 3 open empty slots in those 3 boxes. I was like, gonna fill those. Because then I have the optimal volume of train. And all the slots are filled. And then no more. Makes sense, right? Okay, second gear works through here as well. Did it go slight? Why am I gaining 2 tethers now? Hello! Am I faster now? Am I going faster? I mean, I'm never gonna get these home. But yeah. It's nice having them. For a bit. And gone. That's like my problem, you know. I have lap to lap consistency, but never corner to corner consistency. You know, sometimes I'm fast in this corner, sometimes I'm fast in this corner, and in the end, my theoretical best lap is always like a second quicker than my actual. Hello, Mage. How you doing?
Might.
I can't show. Well, there is going to be another 1 hour and 23 minutes of this race, but I can show you the train that I got. Because there were 2 that were cheaper, right? That dropped by a massive amount. Now, one of them was what you picked, and the other one was wasn't, but yeah, basically I was like, okay, this thing is now cheaper than the other one, like the old one with the 3 axles, is cheaper and it has more features. So, and it has a internal like little storage, so if it ever doesn't get power from the rail, it can like jump over it basically by having a little bit of internal power. So I was like thinking, okay, if I just get that one, I'd never have to clean the rails again because I can just let this one drive over, and every little bit of dirt that's on the electricity connectors isn't gonna bother it because it'll just drive over it, scrub it off, and use its internal battery. It is a capacitor, not a battery, but still, to drive over it, and then I don't have to bother with finding places that oxidized, because the problem is that the rails themselves don't rust, but the power connectors do. Yeah, mate, you were off track driving 2 kilometers an hour. What do you think I'm gonna do? Flash me. Just get the fuck out of the way if you're off track and a hypercar's coming. I can't do anything about that. I'm not gonna lock up my tires for him. Right? I do not commit that courtesy. And I've also repaired the two broken cars that I had where it had springs missing. Like, I didn't get the exact correct springs because the ones in them are silver and the ones I got are gold. But they're like the same length, sort of, and they have the same end pieces. Maybe they have different strength, but I tested it and it didn't really make a difference, so yeah, it now has random gold springs. Yay! Alright. Yeah, basically everything that is repairable is now repaired after 10 years. And I mean, I didn't get the pantographs because I have one locomotive that had 4 broken pantographs, and the train itself cost 90 euros new, but each pantograph is 30 euros. So the replacements would be 120 when the whole train cost 90. So, no. But yeah, that's gonna stay as it is. Because that was basically like my experiment train, right? The one I used to test tracks and all that. So it fell over a lot. Wait. But yeah, now everything's repaired. Because I'm thinking like a lot of those things aren't made anymore. So they're probably, because there's like a EU law that basically you have to guarantee spare parts for 10 years, right? You have to guarantee spare parts for 10 years. If you offer spare parts for a product, you have to guarantee them for 10 years. And that's like sort of about to expire. So I was like, I mean, this is a good time now to just find what's broken and replace all of it. So yeah, I did. And now they're gonna go back into the box. Basically. Oi! It's expensive. It is, yeah. They are. They are. Even those springs, 10 springs, cost 750. Like, what the? That's a kebab, man.
Talk about kebab now?
Yeah, I do want a kebab now.
I had a kebab 3 days ago.
Nice. I had the McDonald's on Wednesday. And that was the only thing I ate all Wednesday.
You had McDonald's for an entire day?
Yeah. No, but like I went there once, and that's the only meal I had the whole day.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
You were nourished on nothing but McDonald's?
Yeah, for one day. But
So
again,
what
I mean,
did you
I gotta get rid of 10 kilos, so it's fine. So I gotta return to hiking shape, not skiing shape. Wait.
So what did you eat?
I had that's the reason I went, because they have like a Germany burger, basically, for the like World Cup thing, and it's kind of like a barbecue burger with a different bun, I guess. But yeah, I had that, and I got 4 nuggies with it. Because the machine offered me, and I'm a slave to the machines. No, I just wanted nuggies. So...
Yeah, that's right. You don't become a slave to nuggets because you always want nugs.
Yeah. But I want you to guess, how much did a burger, fries, a 0.5 Fanta, a 4 nuggies, and 4... what was it? Chili cheese fry thingies that were. Guess how much that was?
Well, I have no specific point of reference to that, so I can only give you how much it would hypothetically cost here in Sweden. Which, oh god damn it! I haven't been to McDonald's in a long time, so I don't have a point of reference for that because I only go to local chains. But if I would apply it that way, it would be close to a ballpark of 15 euros.
Well, it was 21.
What? 21?
Yeah. It was 20.98.
What? for that much, I can buy enough food for 2 people.
Hello, Diego. Yeah, you used to here as well, but like, yeah, a burger,
Like
fries, 0.5 liter Fanta, 4 nuggies, and 4 chili cheese thingies.
for about
20.
that
20.
for about
Hello, Diego.
for about 22 euros at this local chain that I prefer, I could get 2 burgers, 2 fries, and an extra for that much.
Jeez. Yeah, but like, there is a. Is that guy going off strategy or does he have damage? Because you could pit now for.
DBGB.
Hello. He might be going off strategy because you can like go to the end with one stop now. Oh shit. He's still a minute ahead. Yeah, I think he's just doing a strategy. $24. Yeah. How you doing? But yeah, that was shocking. Now there's a McDonald's and a Burger King right next to each other, and I've never been to the Burger King once, even though they're right next to each other. And like not too far away, there is a like local. It's basically like a Greek sort of place. Yeah, it's like imagine McDonald's, but it's Greek and local, and like they do burgers and calamari and all that kind of stuff, you know. And I normally would have gone there, right? But they're always closed on in holidays, so I couldn't go there. So my quarterly visit to McDonald's to be outraged about the prices had to commence. That was I think that was the second time this year I was at McDonald's only. So yeah. How's it going, DBGB? Do you want to see a train? I mean, you're gonna have to wait an hour and 13 minutes, but I have a train. Alright. Don't think it's gonna rain, maybe. I mean, it did say it's gonna rain towards the end. So maybe that guy, with his off strategy, that's at full now, he's gonna be like... He knows that it's gonna rain at the end, so now he's gonna go one stint so they can put the wets on right as his stuff runs out, which would have to be pretty well timed though, because if I stop, I have to stop. Well, I do have to stop once in 5 laps, and then he could extend that and do that one stop later. But yeah. The question is, what do I do on tires? Because I could just keep running them. You know. 1 hour, 24. It's now exactly half time. How much is that? Actually, I can't keep running them. I have to change. I have 2 fresh tires and the quality used tires. So where do I want to... I can't do one side quality, one side fresh. Starting. So I have to either do the full quality set, do front rear. I'll probably do... Well, I lit up the rears, the quality rears, right? So what I'll probably have to do is go front quality and rears fresh. What are we driving? We're driving the BMW at Le Mans. 2.4 hour race. 10 times time. So it means it goes through the entire 24-hour circle. Right? You see the clock there? It's now 4 a.m. At 1 hour and 48 remaining, it's now 4:08. So the time is 10 times as quick. So 1 minute passes every 6 seconds, and that means that you have the night, and you have the sundown, sunrise, all that stuff included. And I will need to switch tires on the next stop, but I don't know what. And I'm not going to catch that Porsche, actually. Unless... it does rain and there's going to be death, but... Hello, Sexus. It's a pink Lexus. It's always the Sexus, nonetheless.
Kind of dark for the night, basically. This is how dark it was when I was up in northern Sweden. It was very comforting.
Yeah, because it's basically a road circuit. There's no lights around the track, so it's basically just the car lights. So no, it's not dark for night racing. That's just Le Mans. And I mean, you see, there's like a couple of important bits of the track that are lit. But generally, it is because it's public road. Most of it, like this right here, you see it's sort of lit. There's a light tower there. Yeah, there's a couple of light towers for this section. But then here, starting right here, maybe you've seen the joint there briefly. This is now public road, so there's not a lot of light here, and you're basically just mostly on the car light. You know, if you flicker, you can see basically that you don't have any light. It's just the light of your car.
Did I see any auroras? Only when I was up there for the first time in 2011. And since auroras can only be seen the most easily when you go beyond the polar circle, the further north you go, I could actually see it, but only when I was in Kiruna. When I stayed at my granddad's place, I could not see any that day, but I mostly saw tons of stars, extremely clearly. But it was also during winter, so of course I could see the auroras then. During my previous 2 visits, it was in late summer, so it was bright as fuck.
Okay, so so this is the strategy for the next stop. And we're gonna watch the weather. I mean, obviously if I put on new tires, then it's gonna start raining 10 minutes after I've stopped. That would suck, right? Because then I've basically warmed up the tires for nothing. But it doesn't really matter because I'm last, so whatever the strategy will be, I can't really lose much. Or... I have to do another stop anyway. I have to stop twice. And I really don't want to put on new tires in the middle of the night. So I might pull the last stop forward. Right? And then switch the tires then. You know, like stay on the...
I.e. Very profound words, Mage. I will treasure those words for the rest of my life.
Midnight, yes, it is Le Mans, 2.4 hours, with realistic time scale, which means that time passes 10 times as quickly because it's a 2.4 hour race instead of a 24-hour race. So you have the whole day and night experience basically going all the way through. And it does make sense that this game's called Le Mans Ultimate because you do get the ultimate of Le Mans. Sort of. Yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know. If it does rain at the end, like basically if it rains in the last half hour, then it doesn't really make sense to switch the tires because they're gonna be like, if they're at 40%, they'll be fine. You know, they'll go to about 40%. You know, I mean, you can still do green laps with 40% tires. Basically, you can go somewhat fast. The hypercar tires, they don't really degrade too much. Obviously, you can go a lot quicker, you can push more, you can lean on the tire more if it's fresher, but generally you can be pretty rough with hypercar tire all the way through. That's a great thing about these tires, yeah. But are there any actual 24-hour races? In the game, there was last year. And there probably is going to be one again this year, yes. But in real life, obviously, there's a lot. There's the 24 Hours of Daytona, There's the 24 hours of Dubai, which nobody cares about, so let's ignore that. Basically, there's the 24 hours of Daytona, the 24 hours of Nürburgring, the 24 hours of Spa, which is the GT3 race, and then the 24 hours of Le Mans, which is this one. Those are the 4 big ones, the important ones. Dubai, ignore it, nobody cares. It's just sports washing, you know, it's like... It's a bunch of 16th century women haters trying to be cool, throwing oil money around. I know I'm not talking about the Americans. I randomly just gained 4 tenths out of that corner. But like, it's like that, you know? Like, you drive for an hour, all of a sudden, boom. You believe a little bit more in the car, and there's 4 tenths. Obviously, I'm going to lose that again. But my optimal lap is going to be at 29 then, probably. Oh yeah. It was a long time ago, but you know, I don't want to call that anymore. What? I don't know. Oh, that guy's in the pits, probably. Maybe that's an unscheduled stop, who knows? Yeah, I already lost it again. I lost a 10th, but still. I'm not gonna get into the 29s in this race. Damn you, Jeebus. But like, as you can see, like even the old tires, you can still push them, but...
Jabus Krust.
See, you ripped that time. Now it's gone again. Now it's there again. Yeah, I mean, 30. Oh, Kenturk is... It's his problem. He's 100% fuel. But he's losing. Well, he's got fresh tires, I think. Oh, he's dead. Wait, I almost did the same as him. What is his problem? That was definitely not a planned stop, I think. Yeah, P11. I'm surprised nobody died. Like the last half hour, we didn't have any dead hypercars falling down. Opa. I'll just stay in 5th gear, I think. I'll just eat that. 0.5. Oh, it's only 0.25. That's nice. Obviously, that Cantor is going to be ahead of me again when I have to stop in 2 laps. But if he keeps bleeding that time... I mean, I think he just switched tires, so... I kind of don't want to switch tires in the middle of the night, but it is going to get bright again soon. So the temperature is going to rise. But... I mean, I might even think about doing, oh no, this is gonna get mushy. If I get front mediums rear soft. Don't know about that. Yeah, I don't even remember how you were called before that, so don't mind me. What's my optimal still 25? Okay. Well, I could probably, with a couple of days, I could do 28s, but not like this. Not in this car. Well, maybe in this car, but maybe in the Ferrari. Now the question is, what do I do on Sunday then? So I think the BMW has proven itself. I think, obviously, I almost died there, but it's in turn 1, right? That's basically just skill issue, so it's not had nothing to do with the BMW. But so my question is, just vibing. Yeah. So my question is, what do I do on Sunday? If I do this again, because obviously the Genesis for Le Mans is out, disqualified. Right? It's not a good car for this type of track. I'd love the car, but unfortunately not a good car. Now, that leaves Peugeot or Ferrari. I can either confirm that the Peugeot is the all-rounder that works on every track, or I could go for the Ferrari and risk it and see how that one holds up for the entire time, and then maybe even go quicker than in this one. Obviously, the Porsche seems to do quite well with a lot of drivers as well, but it's not a car that I'm a big fan of because of the way it drives mostly. Like, it does this, but like worse. Much worse. Yeah, okay, the tires are cooked. I need new ones now. But that's the thing that's good about this car, and not so good about the Ferrari. When you throw this one or the Genesis, right, it tends to throw in a straight line, so you can recover it quite. Especially the Genesis, you can recover that very easily. You can recover the Peugeot quite easily as well. So, obviously, where I spun here was just completely wild, and I couldn't react to it. But yeah. So the question is now, if I slap on new tires, it's gonna take. It is Le Mans, so the warm up is pretty quick. Like, I'm gonna have a really slow sector one, and then it's, you know, start weaving here, and then they're basically gonna be good. So, two options. I keep these on. 26, jeez. But yeah. Do we have... we have high grip. We still don't have saturated grip, so 24s are impossible in this race. Right? Basically. There's gonna be like one person that does like a 24.9 or something, but... Yeah, you need saturated grip to do like the ultra laps. Basically. I became smooth and fast champion from Turkey. Ooh, that's nice. Just vibing. Of course I'm vibing. That's the whole point of this. Risk it for the biscuit. Yeah. So if it doesn't rain. Ah! Oh my god!
You disintegrated.
There's the rain. No, it started raining right now. But I have to box. Shit. I have to make the choice now. It does say forecast light clouds, so it might stop very quickly. So if I stay on the mediums... Ah! No! I'm forced to make the choice right now. And there's obviously the track, it's just a drizzle. You know, so if I pit now... No. What's the stint length? How many laps do I need to do to get to another pit stop? 1.42. So I need to do... I don't think it's enough. I don't think I can. If I stay on these tires, like because I can't pit to wets right now, they're going to be shot in a lap, right? And it's a drizzle, right? It drizzles. So there's no point in putting on wet tires, and there's no point putting on fresh tires. Right, because they're just going to be cold and they're going to be a pain to warm up because the track is now 16 degrees. So I'm just going to keep these on. I'm going to leave the tires, okay? I'm going to leave the tires. No change. And then what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get these and hope that it doesn't rain harder. I'm going to try to get these to the next stop in... 6 laps, roughly. Yeah, Gauscher is on softs. Yeah, this sucks. Because I need to do inside. Okay, I'm just not gonna change tires. But those guys are on softs for the night, right? Because the softs are better for night. Okay, so I'm not gonna change tires. Unless it's damp already. No, it's still high grip. It's just drizzling. So what I'm going to do, right, I'm going to fully fuel the car, and there's 16 laps to go. I can go 12 laps with one tank, right? So I need to survive 4 laps on these tires, right? 4 more laps on these tires, and then it's either going to wets or I need fresh ones. Right, which is going to be absolutely miserable and painful, but I'm going to have an advantage over like going to wet snow, because going to wet snow is impossible. You can't do that. So, okay, we'll see. That was loud. Yeah, because this microphone's like right here, so it amplifies it a little bit. But yeah, okay. So I keep the warm tires. I think what I'm going to try, I'm going to do this again on Sundays, so if you want to join for that, I'd really appreciate that, of course. What I'm going to try is I'm going to start on a quali set and then immediately go to new tires on the first stop. Right, so I'm going to have fresh tires, and I can survive the rain easier. Because now, obviously, I have 55%. Those have about 15% tire life in them, which is one stint. Like, these can't really go to the end. I could drag them to the end. That's not a problem. You know, I could drag these tires to the end. But I'm going to lose a lot of time. So, we'll see how the rain's going to go. Is everybody else going to have to pit as well? And they're not going to really have any advantage of that. Okay, still high grip. We're going to have to monitor this now. Now the temperature is going to go up. So what I'm going to try to do is... what is that guy doing? Like, medium, soft, medium. That's a really weird... Okay, the crisscross tire strategy. I've never seen that done before. Yeah, it's basically like one side, like left and right, most of the time you switch on a pit stop. You don't switch front or rear, because then it obviously becomes unstable. Right, so you switch one side at a time. What is that? Oh, that is him. That's the guy that crashed on lap 1. I'm very surprised that he didn't DNF. I'm very convinced of his resilience, right? Yeah, Sierra also all out on mediums again. Yeah, we're just gonna have to watch this, okay? Because if it stopped raining, we can go to a first set. Yeah. Yeah, that was very ambitious of me, so... not necessary, basically. Yeah, I get it. I take that. I'll take that being flashed right there. So that was... oh, Radillion's on wets. Okay. Still high grip, so that might be a big mistake from him. Because if it does not get wet... if it does not actually get wet, what's going to happen to these tires that I have on right now? They're going to wear a lot slower. Right? Because obviously when it's wetter, you drive slower, you have less force going through the tires, so you have less wear. Right? These can go... I mean, I've driven 1 hour, 40 minutes on them. And they're at 50%. So they can go to the end. If they absolutely have to. Now, they'll be at like 30%, they'll be horrible to drive, but they can go to the end. But there's about 15% of usable life in them, right? Because at about 40% they become terrible. Like that, then they start dropping at 40. Above that, you can just like push them. As you saw earlier, I did a pretty quick lap there, but now obviously it's wet, so yeah. This guy's gonna cook his tires, and he's also not gonna have an advantage because 15 laps left, right? So he has to pit again. He will have an advantage on the stop. Okay, it is damp now. Okay, so he's gonna have an advantage. But the race leader also didn't change tires. So I think the optimal strategy that we're gonna consider for Sunday is to start the race on the quali set and then switch to the completely fresh set on the first stop. So yeah. Because the thing is, if that guy obviously lost time now putting the wets on, but if it doesn't get slightly wet, then he's gonna lose. Just damp. And it says forecast light cloud, so it is not projected to get heavier rain. And he's the only one that switched to wets. P10 is still possible already. I mean, obviously it's 50 minutes left, which is quite an insane amount of time. But we have to consider all the options. Everybody else is out of reach. They have to DNF to catch them. It would be nice if one further person DNFs, so like P9. But like I said, and I basically... Oh, fuck that. That's 1. 2! Holy shit. Okay, don't do that again. Noted. Playing a strategy game. Yeah, it's high-speed strategy, right? I have that down. You know, that part, I know. Right? The problem is I don't have the pure pace. I have the strategy, thinking. I've got the race awareness and all. But I don't have the pure pace that you need. That's the thing I'm missing, obviously. Okay, Mora's in the pits. For wets. It's still damp. It's still damp. It is not slightly wet. You can survive the damp quite easily on dry tires. Especially warm dry tires. Obviously the problem is, if I have to pit, I mean I don't have to pit, I have to pit in 10 laps. If I had to pit right now, and switch to new mediums, then they would be like undrivable, right? But yeah. Let's see what the race leader does as well. He's behind me. 30 seconds behind me. I might just about not get lapped in this race. I would have not get lapped if I, like, basically that's, I don't get lapped unless somebody kills me. And that's my inspiration for this. Thanks to the hypercar, put me in the wall at exit. Oh boy. Rough shite, bruv. Now the thing about those those wets are that they're gonna overheat quite quickly, and I think it's not that wet right here. It's not that wet. It's not that wet, so I mean, I do want to at some point do an experiment of what happens if you never switch tires in a 2.2.
Go back to sleep, my bot.
Hello, my bot. Oh.
You said hi to a bot. Are we doing that now?
Oh. Of course, I mean, you have to thank your future AI overlords before they destroy you. I mean, as you can see right now, I have better pace than Radeon. Radeon, whatever. And if it does not get, if it does dry again, right? If this rain stops in 10 minutes, which I hope it does, then you know he's gonna have to switch back to mediums, and I don't. I can just like stay on these and survive. Obviously I shouldn't. I should definitely switch tires on the last stop. But yeah. I've now worked out the preferred strategy for Sunday. Start on the quali set, switch to a fresh set on the first stop, drag the fresh set through. But it's just drizzle. Hello, Tricky, how you doing?
Eat that, Ricky. 48.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, these tires are cooked now, you know, like... These tires are cooked now. But... Still quicker. They're still quicker, and also they're cool now, you know? So they're not gonna be used up as quickly. But yeah, they're still quicker than the guy on his wets. Those wets gotta be quite warm right now. Because I don't think... If it stops raining in the next 10 minutes... If it stops raining in the next 10 minutes, then... We're good. But yeah, this is not the optimal strategy, I know that already, but it is the best we can do right now. Because if I switch to wets, then obviously I'll lose the position. It's over. As long as it's just damp, I don't need to do anything about it. There's 62 cars circulating right now. So there's going to be plenty of water coming off the track instead of coming down the track as well. As long as it's just drizzling, we should be okay. Oh, somebody's dead. I'm going to have to be very careful through these corners now. Because I'm basically like running grandpa tires. Really old, really used mediums that are not ideal for this weather. So I know how to change my strategy for Sunday. Got him. The question is... I think we can go to the end now, it's 4 laps. Okay, we need one more lap. One more lap and I can go to the end. Right? I can stop. And I can go to the end. So that even if it gets slightly wet now, I can slap on those wet tires. And they should be in better condition than the guy behind me because they're going to be overheating. Okay.
You're in dire need of the biggest hug in the world, Tricky.
Pit lap 36. I need 36% extra VE, which I can get at the end of this lap. I mean, I could get it now, basically. Still damp. Oh, Galicio. Galicio. He's got a trouble. He's in trouble, but he pits. So let's see if he stays P1. Let's see if he goes to wets. No! Fuck! Oh, that just snapped. Damn it. Well, I had the Porsche briefly. Okay. 5 seconds. I mean, I could catch that again. Basically. Oh, it's slightly wet now. Okay, we're going to wets. Perfect! New soft, new hard, new wet. And I can go to the end now. Perfect. It's slightly wet now. That's when you have to change. Could have went in last lap, right? Because I would have made it till the end anyway. Like those 4 extra laps is what I need. 11.5. Problem is it can go to 40. If it does go to 40 again, if it does snap back to 40, then I need that extra lap, right? Which is why this is the lap that I can pit, which is great because now I can go to the end without worries. I can have the wets. I'll be fine. And I don't need to go back onto any other tires because, as we learned on Sebring, is that if you're basically 50 minutes from the end, and it's like, if it stops raining 50 minutes from the end, you cannot get mediums warm. Right? 50 minutes. That is a non-viable strategy, basically. Right, if you're on wets and it stops raining with 50 minutes to go, then you stay on the wets. Because if you switch to mediums, you lose 40 seconds of the pit stop, and you need like 6 or 7 laps to get those mediums up to temperature, and that it's not worth it. Like, you lose a minute, and you're never going to gain that back in an hour, even on the mediums. So, simply saying, if there's less than an hour on the clock, and it's still raining, you stay on the wets until the end. Now the question is, can I get that Ferrari behind me? Can I make him? Can I make him happen? Now, the thing about the BMW is why I say I don't want it in the wet is because it's very snappy, right? So it becomes like even snappier. You can see it now. Obviously, it's because of the mediums as well, but the car is extremely snappy on the rear axle, especially in the wet. Okay. Now, new wet tires, 100% and 12 laps. We can go to the end now. Talk AI into doing my job for me, which is I'm gonna job. Lol. Don't get replaced. Don't replace yourself. I mean, it's never gonna happen, but yeah. Wait, why is the? Huh? That was that race leader. Why is he behind me? Is that bugged? It says minus 6.3, and he's not in the pits, so he's got to be stationary somewhere outside the pits. Oh, he's in it. He's in the garage. Oh, he's dead. Wow. Okay, that's insane. That is insane. Alright, but now basically there's 40 minutes left. If it stops raining right now, it still wets all the way to the end, right? Because the track, it takes like half an hour for the track to dry, and it takes another half an hour to get the mediums working. Because the tire warm-up in this game is so bad. Like, so genuinely useless. Like, it works with the softs somewhat. Like, if you have the hypercar on Sebring, you don't have the softs. But on Le Mans, like, you have the softs available. If you have four fresh softs you can slap on, you can probably warm them up in like 3 or 4 laps. And then maybe you have a chance to push. But if you have the mediums, it is impossible. So it has to basically stop raining with an hour left to go. And then the medium strategy becomes viable. So another thing that's pretty weird in Le Mans Ultimate, there's a lot of races where it starts dry and then it gets wet later, right? There's basically no races that start wet and then end dry, right? I've never seen one. There are a couple of races that are wet throughout, but those are very rare, of course. But there's basically no races where you start wet and then it stops raining, right? Or it already stopped raining, but the track is still wet. That would be an interesting concept, you know, for like a 1 hour race, you know, it just stopped raining, the track is wet, and then it's 1 hour of drying. And then you start on the wet and then see a medium or wet. So about how you, yeah. I mean, AI is basically just, it's basically dice manipulation. It's like, which numbers does the dice need to throw certain numbers? Because it doesn't think. It's an algorithm. You know, it's garbage in, garbage out. And hey, you know what? It's great that we are replacing humans with AI because that AI is going to live in data centers, and when all the humans die of hunger, heat stroke, and pollution, those AIs in the data centers, they're going to live on and then do all the things that humans used to do, and then Terminator happens.
Nah, inbreeding would happen.
Yes, I mean, AI is already inbreeding.
Yeah, but it's not gonna turn into friggin' Skynet just because, I mean, there are no humans to stop it.
Yes, but there is a potential because this is the thing. Humans aren't intelligent either. Humans just have broader potential. Like, we have the potential to make...
Yeah, potential, yes, but what does that say about the likelihood? The probability
that's a different question. That's
inbreeding alone.
But like, what's the likelihood of humans becoming intelligent is not very high either. So the likelihood of AI becoming intelligent and self-sufficient is very low, of course. But
yes, but what does that have to do with it becoming a potential supercomputer if it's left just on devices? That's kind of a distraction from the topic, though.
Yeah, but that's a rare possibility, basically. Like, if it just...
Yeah, then say that there is a possibility, but that frame like that, then even the most overwhelming probability would be that it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's like it's pretty much the same with humans. You know, the overwhelming probability was that humans won't exist, but unfortunately, we rolled that dice, and now we exist. It's the same with AI. You know, just because and that's the thing with humans and with AI, we have a very wide spectrum of decisions we can make. But that doesn't necessarily make us intelligent. We have the ability to make intelligent decisions. But if we look at the planet, most of our decisions aren't very intelligent. Fuck, I did the thing. Stop, 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 stop. Oh, no. No, I have lost the wing. No. Oh, I did the thing. Fuck you, BMW.
Tricky, where's John Connor?
I did the thing. Oh, no. Yeah, this is gonna be the worst lap of my life. Yeah, go. Literally, I don't have a rear wing. I was like very hoping to the last second that I'm not gonna lose the rear wing, but oh god. Yeah, the BMW in the wet is just undrivable. God damn it. Like I'm driving 100 kilometers an hour and it just yeets it round. Well, congratulations, Ferrari. Jeez. Well, I mean, basically, verdict for the BMW. We can make that right now. Verdict for the BMW: dry, passed; wet, never. Whenever there's a wet race, the BMW is dead to me, completely. It's completely dead to me.
Where is Sarah Connor? I must go to California. I must protect California.
I need your clothes.
I like your clothes.
Yeah.
I like your car.
It does not like curbs, and I get on the curb because I'm an idiot. But yeah. Finds everything. Will be mindless minions. Elon Musk, yeah, exactly. Well, I'll be P11. God damn it. Well, I would have been P9, but I had to do the thing. I had to do the thing. Just gonna have to watch out what's happening behind so I don't crash into anybody. Just gonna like stay in second gear and yeah, but like that's the worst thing you can do at Le Mans. And I've never did that before, but now I did it, so yay, I guess. It's like you throw it in that first corner and hit the wall and lose the rear. And then obviously you have to drag the whole car the entire lap. A 4-minute lap. Or 5-minute laps is gonna be probably. Yeah, okay, so it's wet now. Okay. So for what do we do for Sunday? Now the BMW is obviously dead. For anything that involves wet racing. But it is alive for Le Mans in general. So, redeemed. On that note. Redeemed on that note. Oh, Cesare's died as well. It's bleeding time. He's back. And maybe if I'm lucky, there's going to be a couple more deaths, but fortunately not. So now I know what to do for Sunday. Obviously the race is different every week, every time it runs. It rains at a different time, at a different intensity, but now I know how to do it. Now I know what to do. Basically grinding the gearbox into fine powder right now. But yeah, it'll be fine. Oh, that Pia guy, he was 12th, now he's 3rd again. That's crazy. That's crazy recovery. Probably all the LMP2 dies. I kind of, like, that's the thing. I really want to do it in the LMP2, though. I don't think I can do it tomorrow. Maybe I can, though. Maybe I can do it tomorrow. And I'll do it tomorrow and on Sunday. I'll do it 3 times. I don't know, actually. Hold the brakes. Space Marines. People into Space Marine. Lol.
Saddam, you decided a horrible religion based in Warzone.
Let's go. Let's pick one.
What's the worst religion to base your morals on? Probably any religion, to be honest. Maybe except Buddhism. It's like sort of okay, I guess.
Buddhism is Chad.
I don't make the assumption that every Buddhist is a good person, certainly not, but like Buddhism as a concept is probably
No, Adam,
less
that's
harmful
not,
than the others.
That's not what I do. I never base a religion on how the user base is, because I mean, if I have to decide a religion for myself and only myself, then I only go off of what it is on its foundation. What
Yeah,
people
is
do,
true.
that's not my problem.
Yeah, true. But the thing is,
Because
you know,
then my problem lies with the people and not with religion.
yeah, but that's the thing, you know, like if a certain religion has a tendency to cause more violent and evil people, then you might want to stay away from that more, even if the like base lore might seem good. You know, if you have a religion that's like has a lot more violence, a lot more evil happening, even though the source material is good, you might be like, you know what, I'll find a different one where the source material is equally as good, but the people aren't as terrible. I mean, that's how I'd say it, you know?
But then the opposite question would be, what exact part of that religion is what caused all the violence among the user base? And so if we can find that out, then we could attend to just that.
Yeah, fair point. Wait, where the fuck
Because
is
we definitely know why evangelism is being criticized. We know exactly why we know exactly why evangelists act the way they do. So we should apply that same logic.
Stupid. But yeah. All right, now 27 minutes. I think. I mean, that's the thing. I want to do it in the LP2, and I want to do it in a different hypercar as well. Now, the question is, I have to do it 3 times, so I have to do it twice on Sunday, which would not be a good idea, I think. Or I do it tomorrow once, and then Sunday once. Yeah, somebody's off. That's AG. That's LP2. Because it's only, that's the problem, it's only 3 days. Like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's the problem. They don't do it any other days. Okay. P8's behind me. Oof. Oh, Dara and Xusture have crashed, but that is oh my god, again. Massive lockup. That's the thing about the BMW, it locks up in the wet. I don't know if anybody remembers that Bahrain race, but this car is just genuinely, bafflingly awful in the wet. So, yeah. Obviously I'm not going to drive it again the next time. The question will be Ferrari or Persia? Because the Genesis is not in consideration for Limmel. Ah, jeez. You know, it held up nicely for 2 hours and then... dead. It's a Ben Shapiro car. You're gonna sell your houses to who? Aquaman! Sorry about that. That was just too hilarious.
That was definitely something.
Yeah, what was that effect? God damn it! I don't remember how the effect was called, but basically it's like if you put your if you put your mouth directly on the microphone, all the sound waves that would normally like go around it will now be shoved straight into the microphone and overpower it basically to cause that.
Well,
destruction.
whatever it's called, I would just call it ear rape.
Yeah, it is. That as well. There is an effect for it as well. A name, like a scientific name, which I had to learn like 2 years ago, but I forgot it. Yay, engineering degree. It's like, I know how all this stuff works, but I don't know how any of it is called.
I mean, that's more about humans in general. We know the things that exist, but we suck at naming them.
Yeah, but I'm especially bad at names. Like, at remembering words or text or numbers.
Yeah, but then you should know that even linguists, whose freaking jobs it is to observe and categorize certain phenomena.
What's the rat
They
from
all
that movie got to do
universally
with that?
stuck at naming things.
What does the rat have to do with that? His name's Linguist, isn't it? Well, that's Linguini, but... bad joke. Ha!
Do you need Subway Surfers to get yourself and get your attention up?
Basically, yes. I need a reference image for everything I remember. Yes.
Then let's have some Subway Surfers gameplay.
Yeah, but it can't always be Subway Surfers, so I'll just forget that. Yeah, see, if you want to know what I meant with the thing, it's basically get on that curb when you brake, because that lifts your front tire, it lifts your front right, so your front left gets, and your rear left get more braking force, so you kaboom into the wall. Yeah, okay. Now I know roughly what the strategy for this is. Remy. Well, somebody's named like Linguini or something in that movie, no?
Yeah, it's the former janitor.
Oh. Well,
It's the guy that became sous chef and was just piss poor cooking in general until the fucking rat had to help him.
Okay, so it's like the guy.
Tugging on his hair.
Yeah, so like it's not the rat, but it's the rat guy. Yeah, well, same thing.
The rat is called Remy. The guy he's helping is called Linguini.
Damn. Well, it's like Frankenstein's monster all over again. They have real-life Subway service now. I remember a couple of years ago in Austria, 4 teenagers decided to get on a train and try to surf the train, but then it went underneath a concrete, like a walkway basically that went over the track, and it was like trimmed to like all the way down the train. So 2 of them, like you know how train cards are connected, and then the connecting pieces are lower. Right, so 2 of them got into that piece and were able to hide, and then the other 2 got a face full of concrete at 180 kilometers an hour. So, yeah, don't do that. Don't real life Subway surf. I don't recommend it.
Surfway suburbs.
Sounds messy. Well, I've seen the picture and it's in my head.
Of course it's in your head. Do we need to do a biopsy on that?
I don't even think his head was in his head. But it's in my head.
The head in the head.
Yeah, oh yeah. Question is, why does my right knee start hurting when I basically just use my ankle to accelerate? And it's also, why is the right one hurting and not the left one? The left one has to do a lot more force with the braking. Well, maybe because the right one has to sit on the accelerator 90% of the lap, probably. It's basically pressed down the entire time. Unless I drive into the wall like a fucking... Jesus.
Kibus.
If you'd milk Jesus, would you get wine?
Now that's a brand new quote. That's a brand new sentence right there.
Aim hurry. I'm not playing Blitz anymore. I will do.
Aim for the fucking road.
I will do a few more Blitz streams, and I will try to get somebody onto one of the last Blitz streams, maybe in the last Blitz stream. I try to get somebody on there that is known to everyone that was here a long time ago.
Can you be any more vague, please? I need you to win the vagueness competition.
I mean, I can just use one word to remove all vagueness. Sheep. No,
There you go. It wasn't that difficult, was it?
Hello, Jill.
Croco?
If you would pay me $1 billion to suck that guy's dick, I would cut his dick off and throw it into a fucking ocean.
Don't let the fish get near to it. You should really think that through. You don't want the fish to be near it.
Wait, why is the Ferrari behind me now? What happened to him? That's whatever. P10. I still need one more position to like not lose all the rating. Yeah, but not $1 billion could get that shame away from me. You know? But yeah, anyway, how's it going? And please do not say that name in this chat ever again, thank you. Like...
Oh my goodness, it is a train, this Croconator.
The RFK Jr. of Blitz YouTubers.
Well, now it's your obligation to tell us what train you are.
The moment he said somebody knew was her, sure. I mean, who else could it be? I mean, I was exposed on the Blitz Reddit, the Blitz subreddit, against my will. I was exposed to a image of said cretin, with a allegedly what looked like a quite large gun collection in the background, and I don't know if it was real guns or airsoft. I mean, airsoft would be more on par because he's full of air and soft, but you know. Whatever. So I mean, sure, it's just cheap heat, basically. You know, it's like it's not even enjoyable, right? Because like hating on like Trump and stuff like that, it's actually enjoyable because they're genuinely terrible people and they actually harm people and they're like genuinely evil. But like that guy, he's just lost. You know, it's like, you know, he's basically one of those like what are they called? Those things that you step on. in certain like when you're on the beach and you go into the water and then you just step on this like thing. That's what he is, right? It's like an avoidable nuisance. So it's not even too enjoyable to make fun of him and to invent things to use as descriptions, but yeah. You don't know. Yeah, it's quite a long time ago. I think she quit Blitz in like 2021. So, yeah. You can check on Blitz. 13. Can you check on Blitz stars? They'll show like last battle. When I
For whom?
Yep.
Alright, right. I'll check.
How many days that was.
Last battle 5 years and 163 days ago.
Yeah, like 2021.
Yes.
Let's go real far. What's wrong with his penis? So okay, here's one thing. Any person that owns a gun that doesn't use it for sport is compensating for something. That's the quote. Wasn't a consistent viewer. I mean, I'm glad she's not a consistent viewer. But the pressure, the pain. She's the Paul Simon to my Art Garfunkel. Or something like that. I mean, 13, you and me, we're just like the old people from the Muppets.
The oldies.
Yeah, that's basically this stream. It's basically just the old people from the Muppets. In fairness, you come and say for a lot. True, yeah, POV, but there are some collector reasons. No, they're fucking nice. Yeah, but like you can collect a lot of things that don't have to involve like being solely designed to murder people. You know, like if you were to collect medieval torture instruments, I would also question your mental fortitude. You know what I mean?
But I would like to see your knife collection. That's just what I would say.
I mean, I have a couple of these CS2 knives as well, right? But that's because it's knives I had in Counter-Strike, and then I got them for real, and they're not really sharp.
Yeah, but also digital knives. I want to see the physical knives.
Oh, I thought the thing was what? But I can't see the last word. What does it say? The mouse cursor is right on it. I can't see. What does it say? Off?
It's just off.
Yeah. I can't see what it says. It's just a mouse cursor is right on the word.
Your goddamn mouth! You can't even get rid of it.
I mean, it's. I can do them like okay. I can get rid of it now. Because I have to have two wheels on the steering wheel.
2 wheels on the wheel.
Yeah, like I was about to say wheel, but then I was like, no, it's not wheel, it's hand. But then I was like, I'm gonna say wheel anyway. That was the
2 wheels on the wheel
yeah.
and two and a head in a head.
That was the retraction of the retraction there. Okay, so I can underfuel the car by a lot.
I'll be looking forward to that one, Tricky.
Okay, so we're going 38 laps, and I can put less in at the end. I can put in 90. Actually, it's 4 laps and I have 7, so 3 laps. The lap difference is crazy. Like the leader is doing 352 in the wet. I do 357. and then the Sierra guy is doing 408. That's wild. I got a family photo. Alright. Appreciate the beauty and engineering. I'm a high weapon. Yeah, it's like, yes, tanks are cool, but they shouldn't exist. You know? So same with like fighter planes. They're cool, but it shouldn't exist. Right? It's the thing. But that's what I said earlier. With like, we're not more intelligent than other species. We just have a wider range. You know, because building weapons to murder each other, or wasting resources from building weapons to murder each other, is not an intelligent thing to do. But it is a possibility, so therefore it's done.
I mean, non-human animals that are very much antagonistic to each other would absolutely love to have weapons.
Yeah, but that's the thing, you know. It's like we're not better than animals. We just have wider possibilities. You know, I mean, look at look at Unit 7. It's Japanese, but maybe they're special. But like Unit 731, or what happened to, what was her name, Junko Furuta or whatever. Remember what? Those aren't people. Like, I'm not part of the same species as that. You know, or Second World War, or you know, the way that the Europeans treated the Native Americans. Those ain't people. You know. Like, to be human.
The European settlers.
I mean, invaders, basically, but...
Yes. Not just... Better to not be too general there.
Yeah, that's another thing, you know? It's like, when brown people go somewhere, they're immigrants. When white people go somewhere, they're expats. You know, it's like... The white man is the wrong mutation, basically. No, either way, but if you look at it, it's like, you know, am I really part of the same species as people capable of that? No, because I think that to be, everybody's a Homo sapiens, right? But to be human, you have to have humanity. You have to accept that other people are also real people with feelings, needs, wants, and wishes, and all those kind of things, and that they also have a wish to live unharmed, right? And yeah, if you're just like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna eat your liver because whatever. No, that's not human to me. See, if I wouldn't have died, if I wouldn't have crashed, I would have caught this Porsche quite easily. Right, look at him. He's struggling so bad in the wet right now.
Struggling.
I've caught like half a... Fuck! Brady! What are you doing, buddy? Please just let me go. Please let me go. I'm begging you. Please let me go. Just let me go. Thank you. Just let me go. Thank you. But look at that. He's going 18 seconds a lap slower. I mean, sure, he's struggling, but if I wouldn't have crashed and I wouldn't have been so stupid, then I would have lived. So honestly, I redact my statement from earlier that the BMW is dead in the wet, and that the BMW is just dead ever getting on curbs. I mean, this one's flat, it's fine. But basically, as soon as you get on curbs, the BMW is just dead. It's just gone. See ya. Have a good one. But yeah, the BMW is not a car that... I mean, it's not good in the wet, in my opinion. Also shown by the fact that... am I the best BMW? I don't know, there might be another one in front of me. But it would be hilarious if I ended up being the best BMW. But yeah, this thing's terrible in the wet, and yeah, I think I'm gonna do Peugeot. I think I'm gonna go Peugeot for the next attempt. Yeah, they basically like. I mean, you don't want to hear this, so you probably should read the Wikipedia article itself. It's basically.
You can read it himself.
Yeah, like,
you can
but to preface this, if you do need a very big stomach, because it's basically the worst recorded case of torture in human history. So, yeah, at least a non-combat version of. I mean, sure, you have Unit 731 as well, which has like done terrible experiments to people, but in terms of like a non-military, like purely civilian torture that's probably the worst that has ever occurred and has been recorded. I mean, there might have been worse in human history, who knows? But it's basically the worst recorded case of torture in human history. And you know what's fucked up about it? All of them, the 4 main perpetrators, are free. Well, one of them died. He got stuck in his toilet and drowned in his own vomit, which is still too nice for that kind of guy. But the other 3, they're free, they're alive, and they're outside of prison. So that's the real problem there. Yeah, don't think I do. No, you don't. Basically, it's the type of people that I would do the following thing to. I would take a box that is like a hand's width each way, like 2 square meters basically. Put them in the box. It's completely dark. There's no sound. There's no light. The only thing you have in front of you is a toilet. It's not large enough to lie down. And there's a dispenser of nutritious goo and a water dispenser on the wall. And there's a toilet. And that's it. And then they're in there. Until they go completely insane and you can get rid of them. That's the kind of treatment that those people would deserve. But yeah, they got out of prison. Yeah, which is insane. Like, there are certain cases where you just can't let people out again, you know? Rehabilitation, all, yes, sure. But basically, once you... I personally think, once somebody commits the same crime twice, that's it. You know? Because the thing is, like, for example... Sure, we're getting into a very dark turn here by the end of the race. But basically, like, let's say when it comes to murder... Basically, 90% of murderers will never do it again, because it was basically, like, the reason that it was conducted was such an extreme outlier anyway, that it will never repeat, right? So, you can rehabilitate that in all the cases. But if somebody does the same thing twice, they're consciously doing it. And then I'm thinking, like, in the hole, goodbye. I do mean like crimes of against human nature, like, you know, assault, all those murder, all those kind of things. You know, I'm not talking about like marijuana or robbing a Lidl or something. Not that, you know. Like, you have to be stupid to do that twice.
Gonna rob a Lidl real quick.
Yeah, but yeah, I also think that if somebody, and obviously the problem is that this would only work in a fair society like Finland or something like that. It would work in the US, right? But basically, that when somebody's arrested 10 times, that's it. You're not getting out again. Have fun. You're in the circle now. You know, just like put a fence around Utah and put all of them in there, basically. But you know, then you have countries like the US where somebody gets arrested 10 times because they're black, because you know, like, hey, I'm driving a car. Oh, look, that guy has a different skin color. Oh, he must have done something wrong. And jail. Obviously, that's the problem with that. That only works in a sophisticated society. But I think once you have that, I think that's the way to go. You know, like, you can rehabilitate oneers quite well in most cases. You know, you can get the recidivism rate very low. But basically, once somebody's done something in 2 separate instances, is basically like your reoffense rate goes from like 20% to 90, you know? So just lock them away, you know? You get one rehabilitation, and then you're if you do it again, that's nope, goodbye. You're in the hole now. And the thing is as well, obviously, the death penalty can't exist, of course. There are some people that deserve it, obviously. And for, like, you know, war crimes and stuff, you can do it for that, whatever. You know, string them up real nice. But for, like, general, you just can't do it, because even if you do it the 2 ways, you know, if you do the same thing twice, obviously, it's basically impossible that you're like, innocently convicted of the same crime twice. It's, like, not happening. Unless you're black in America, of course. Oh. or, you know, Uyghur in China or whatever minority you can come up with that is being majorly suppressed. But yeah, you can't unkill somebody when it turns out after 30 years that they're innocent. So as a general rule, it's a bad idea to... Oh, Radion has a problem. He's behind me and he's crashed, but he'll be fine. Even if he doesn't have a wing, he can just like, you know, drag himself home. He'll be fine. Dara has also had a moment. But yeah, I mean, I could have been P7 if I wouldn't have died. And done that stupid move into the first corner. But yeah. Well, I did it now, and hopefully I'm not going to do it again. But yeah, basically, I think it's like... You gotta set a certain point where it's like, okay, we've given you a chance. You're clearly not part of society. Get out. Here's a hole. You're making license plates now. Have fun. Have a floor to that. I mean, you only need one, really. You got for-profit prisons. Yeah, that's why I said you can only do that in civilized societies. You know, that's not... Oh, I get to do another lap because the race leader was right behind me. Oops. God damn it. And I can't do the race at 50 either. God damn it. Alright, let's see what's happening next. But yeah, it like all depends on like what you can do as what kind of country it is, you know. Like, you can do certain things. Like in Finland, there is a program where like murderers basically walk around free and like drive to prison with their own car and all that, and like they're studying and all that, you know. And it's sure rehabilitate those people, give them a life. That's good, but like in certain places you can't do that because it's just a different like construct of society, you know. It's kind of, once it's built, it's kind of hard to undo. I mean, the U.S. is 250 years of violence, basically. I mean, look at it. You can't undo that in a moment. So I hate rain. I do too. Happening with the ice run, I wasn't hitting it. Horrendous. Yeah, it is, but that's the thing, you know. That's fascism is basically democratic cancer. You know, when a democracy doesn't have the ability and the will to fight, because you know those far-right extremists, they always exist, right? They're always there. I mean, they were there 80 years ago. They're there 50 years ago. They're there now. They always exist. But in a good, well-working democracy, those people are like kept in check and kept from multiplying, right, and destroying everything else. But when the democracy becomes weak, the cancer can spread, and then it infects other cells that weren't originally part of it. The weak cells, basically, those that can be emotionally manipulated, those that have authoritarian characters, right? Because you can sort of, that's like you know, the thing is, the more you go, like the higher you go in science, the less accurate it becomes. You know, like physics is more accurate than biology, basically, to put it easily. But because like you can, again, there's a lot less variables, right? Because like physics isn't affected by biology, but biology is affected by physics, right? But in psychology, you please don't drive into me. It's like you can measure a lot of things, but it's a lot of dust basically in between, where it's like maybe not, but it tends to be, you know, it tends to be. Like there's probably like 20% of people that you can manipulate quite easily. They have authoritative personalities where, you know, they're very susceptible to just be owned and controlled, basically. Maybe because of the way they're raised, maybe the way they think, you know, all those kind of things. It's also less of a genetic thing and more of a upbringing thing as well. So you just have that 15-20% that are always susceptible to that, and then if it gets really bad, you can get it up to 30%, right? But you can't really get it much higher than that, right? Like, because you're always gonna have the other people that are not gonna get involved with that. You're gonna have a lot of people that are gonna look away and be like, I don't want anything to do with that. But they know that it's wrong and they don't want to get involved with it, right? Because as Oh, why did I do that? What just happened? Oh, I lost the rear wing. That's beautiful. I don't know what just happened. But yeah, that was just fun. Last corner. But yeah, basically. They've come us in the saying, well, of course, America's a love child of imperialism, white supremacy. That you could have not put it better. Yeah. Wait, the guy won? Damn. Wait, so it was 11th here. It was 3 minutes back. How? That was godlike rain performance right there. Holy shit. Holy shit, man. Couldn't do anything, car was broken. No, I think everybody else crashed in LMP2. That's why I love LMP2, because everybody's so terrible in that class. Ugh. P10 though was bad for me as well. Let me requires justifies correct percentage of exercise in the crowd is dressing high. Yeah, but it's not they're not actually like that's why I've. The thing is, they're not actually interested in anything factual. They're basically just they're not thinking scientifically, right? They're looking for validation with justification, right? So whatever they find, because they know, because that's the problem, right? They're not entirely stupid.
Leap on knowledge, DB. I understand
You
that
want to grab a
reference.
politician by the scruff of the neck and go on. Oh, that is a bitch. True, but like basically,
Understood that reference.
yeah, like basically these people know, like the MAGA morons, they know what's wrong. Basically, they can see that something's wrong, but they don't understand why and how. You know, and then somebody comes along and then tells them a very simple, easy explanation that already confirms their prejudices, right? So if you're somewhat simple-minded, you tend to be scared of things that you don't know. And what are things that you don't know? It's people of different cultures, people of different skin colors, whatever, right? You tend to not understand that, tend to not know that if you're not very advanced in the head, right? So you can basically scare people with those kind of things and manipulate them that way. And it's in one part their fault, but in also another large part a failing of society that we haven't generated, haven't produce a society where basically everybody has the ability to use their brain, right? Because obviously your amygdala is just always screaming like, you know, all the time. I could do this again. It starts in 4 minutes, but I'll be done at 2 a.m. No, I'm not doing that.
You need to sleep, old man.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do it again tomorrow. I'm gonna sign up for that already. But the question is, what car am I gonna use now? Where am I? I'm 107th. I'm exactly 5 seconds off. That's hilarious. But yeah. So yeah, it's just a failing of society because you could help those people, right? You could make them better, but it's just you don't. Because again, that cancer spreads itself around, unfortunately. You know, because we're not only. Let's put it this way: only parts of our brain are intelligent, right? And those are the parts they have to listen to. Now I'm gonna drive a little bit of practice now and then go like a little bit more. Like I'm gonna do five or six laps in the Peugeot, and then we're gonna go off. And then I'll be back tomorrow with the Peugeot. And then the LMP2 on Sunday. Well, I'm gonna need to undo that real quick. But yeah, so I don't have obviously don't have a setup, so what do we need? P2, P6, P2, P6. It's gonna be wet, so I'm gonna go with 4. Let's look at the differences. What does this use for P4, P1? P4, P1. Okay, so both use the same on the roll bars. Okay, this uses P3. Okay, so we're gonna start with this. I don't know what suspension and dampers. I don't know what this does. I have no idea. I don't know how to change it, and I'm gonna just leave it as is. So we're gonna leave that. Okay. That's fine. 60, it's good. But we're gonna take the rear wing down to 4. Right, and then we're gonna save it. Save setup, limo. Save. Okay. Perfect. And then we're gonna go for 4 laps. What? What was that in the wheel? The wheel just didn't react. The wheel just went wonky. Synchronizing something. Full seg, but hold on, okay. But yeah. Really wish the world was different. Yeah, well, it's what we are. It's what we are. But yeah, that's the thing, you know, like you. And again, you can't save like 10% of those people. Like let's say 29%. How many voted for the orange guy? 29%. You can't save 10% of those. You can't. They're just gone. Like they're basically like you would have to completely break them, like completely empty their brain, and then refill it with, like, because the pathways are so cooked that there's no way to get those back. It's impossible. Because the brain is very good at defending itself from what it perceives to be threats, right? So those people, it's the same with flat earthers, you know, like every further proof that they're wrong in their mind is a proof that they're right. You know, like.
But question: how do you drain something that's already empty?
Yeah, but that's the problem. It's not empty. The emotional brain, the instinct, is not empty. It's never empty. But the intelligence that would rationalize that instinct and be like, wait a minute, I'm not a caveman. I'm not a baboon. That's just a man of a different skin color and not an enemy. The part that rationalizes, that converts that signal is not there. It's like, you know, you have a CPU. You need the CPU to turn the electricity into thinking. You know, and if you just have the electricity, your RAM, you don't have a RAM, it's not going to work. You know, you have zeros and ones, but they're not going anywhere. So, yeah, like it's not necessarily that it's empty. It's just like filled with the wrong pathways. You know, like it's just fundamentally broken, and there's nothing you can do about it. And the best thing you can do is like, all right, buddy, listen. We have a democracy, okay? There is going to be democratic parties, right? Everybody that accepts everybody else, you're going to be allowed to be a democratic party. And then you can choose one of those. And if you don't like any of them, then stay home and play with your, like, nobility shit at home, right? Do whatever. Declare your house a kingdom. We don't care. But leave everybody else alone. Like, just get the fuck out. You know, that's how you do that, you know? It's just like, put him in the corner, keep him there. And then let him be stupid at peace. Because, if you let him out, if you let him pick a leader, you see what happens. You see what happens. You know, in a lot of cases, it's as well that they're not able to understand the messaging. Because I saw a couple of weeks ago, I saw a thing, like a guy in England, like asked people on the road, should billionaires like have their money? And the people were like, yeah, because you know if they worked for it, and that's like good, and you know. And then he put like poker chips on the table, put 3 poker chips on the table, and be like, okay, this is the average wealth that a British person has. Now pick from that massive pile how much you think a rich, like, is fair for a rich person to have. And they picked like 15, 20 chips most of the time. You know, something that's fair. And then he was like, oh, but what if somebody had this entire pile? And then everybody was like, oh, well, that's not really fair. That's not nice. I don't like that at all. That shouldn't be. But when just 5 minutes ago they said, the billionaires should have their money. They earned it, right? But then when you put it into perspective like that and then show them, then all of a sudden they're like, oh, wait a minute, that's a problem. You know? And then, obviously, the guy didn't have the money of the billionaire on the table, right? That little pile on the table was nothing. And then he pulled out a massive suitcase and be like, okay, this is how much 40 families in Britain have. And it was like this giant suitcase. And it was like, oh, well, that's too much. And then he was like, how many shops are in this town? And I was like, I don't know, it's 40. And 25 of those shops are open. And he was like, all 40 of them are owned by one guy that lives 250 miles away. And then we're like, oh, do you think, what do you think who should own these shops? And we're like, well, I mean, the people, you know, the community, the people that benefit him. It's like, and then maybe they started getting it. You know, that's the problem. There's just like this third of people that can't abstract anything, right? They don't understand things that aren't in front of them, right? That's what I mean with, like, you know, MAGA see the problems. They know that it's going downhill, right? They can identify the problem, but they don't understand why the problem exists, and they don't understand how to solve it, right? Because that's a complex, non-visual problem that you can't just play out in front of them with poker chips. You know, that's a problem of education, that they were just never taught. You know? I mean, you can forget those 15%, basically. They're lost, right? But the next 15%, those are the ones that you can save by educating, by proper education, right? Because everybody in the end is going to be like, oh, well, that should be owned by the community. That should benefit the people, right? That should be for the people that use it. You know, everybody is going to eventually think, you know, and like want their people to be well, right? Obviously, I mean, everybody wants their people to succeed, right? I mean, look at football. You know, you want your team to win, you want the other one to lose. But the problem is that most people, they can identify the problems, but they can't think far enough of who causes them and how to solve them. And then, obviously, if you read a newspaper owned and printed by the Epstein class, then obviously you can fill those people's brains with the exact opposite messaging, right? Because, like, if you look at all the polls, like, oh, 80% of people agree, think democracy is great. 80% of people think that there should be better, cheaper housing. 80% of people think that there should be, like, I don't know, like children's should not go hungry, you know? I think 80% agreeing to that is a bad number already, but, you know, think of that. And then, those 80%, they go out and, like, half of them vote for parties that hate all those things. Because they can't, like, put those two together. They can't abstract those things. That's the problem, you know? And unfortunately, I have gained sentience, which I really regret. I should not have done that, you know, at all. So, I'm sitting here. Giving myself a medal meme. Yeah. Unfortunately, I have gained sentience. I wish it was different, but here I am. Nightbot is...
And go back in time and tell your 3-year-old self not to do that.
Yep. I should not have gained object permanence. That was the biggest mistake of my life. Litter boxes in schools, Marty. Yeah, but that's the thing, you know? That's the thing. That's the manipulation, right? That's the counter-manipulation. They don't come up with that themselves, you know? Like I said, there is no conservative art. I've said that a couple of times before, that there is no such thing as conservative art. It's like, there is no original thought involved, right? Because if you think about it, what makes sense. To conserve something, it has to have been made before that. You know, you can't conserve something that you haven't made yet. So there's no originality in it. And it's the same with those litter boxes and whatever. It wasn't, they didn't invent that. They didn't think that themselves. They just heard that someone copied that, and they were like, huh, economy bad? My rent high? I hear more about trans people. Oh. Wait.
Indeed, but DB, it is indeed a day. It is indeed a day like this.
Yeah. From what is it? Oh, when some conservative will have litter boxes that were silent. Yeah, because they don't know, because it's not true. And that's one thing that I will not let anybody slide with is that it is not your opinion if you repeat something that is disproven, right? If you have an opinion, if you say something, right? And then I go out like, well, in 1956, some scientists disproved this, and then in 1974, some other scientists tried it again, disproved it again, and then in 2007, some scientists went at it again, and they disproved it again, yeah, basically this is false, and you're wrong. And then, if the other person doesn't go like, oh, well, his opinion was bullshit then, I gotta go read something. If they repeat it again, they no longer have an opinion. They are purposefully lying. Remember that. Once an opinion is, like, destroyed, for lack of a better word, by a fact, repeating that opinion makes it no longer an opinion, it makes it a lie. Well, people gotta fucking realize that at some point, eh? Right? In other words, the script for the how YouTubers manipulate you is done. Problem is, I gotta hike to a place for one of the chapters, and I don't want to do that in 30-degree heat or in rain. So we'll see. Any critic thinking? Yeah, but that's the thing. It's they're not thinking. They're just feeling. Because, like I just said with the poker chip example, once you show them and once you like guide them through the thought, they'll get it. But they're not able to come up with that thought themselves because they were never. They never learned how to think like that because school teaches you how to be an obedient worker rather than a critical thinker. That's the problem. You know, they want you to run the machine. That's the thing. The king does not want its subjects to be intelligent and question the king. They want to follow the king. And then obviously you have those like somewhat 15 to 20% that are always going to be like, king, please lead us. Right? They're always going to be there. I mean, yeah, the thing is, this thing's just rock solid, you know, but it's like slow. 31.6. What is the track? It's high grip. It's kind of slow. Like, go back to bed. You can watch a little. I mean, Joe Rogan to your one character arcs. Yeah, but like, I mean, wait, why is it? Oh fuck! Why is it having a rain? Oh no! I need to get to a different practice server then. I need to get into a different practice server. Don't like this. I want to try the Ferrari as well, maybe. Should I? I don't know. But yeah, like, this thing's just rock solid. Well, 30 point, what is this on for? 30.4, okay. Basically a second off the beamer. Optimal, 29.7. Okay, so that is already 3/10 off the beamer. This thing has pace, actually. Well, I've just driven 2 hours, so it's obviously easier to get into the new car, but this thing's, I think I'm gonna stick with this. Nope, that's too much. That's a bit too much. That was a bit too much, but yeah, it's okay. So, quit the main menu, and now I'm going to try to get into a different one, and I'm going to try the Ferrari for a couple of minutes. Unregister. Because that's like, I mean, I could try the Porsche as well, but I really don't want to. Register. The problem is you have to register. Wait. I can join the practice anyway with the Ferrari. Join practice. I'm going to try to go. Let's go to this server. This shouldn't be wet. He was waking up and Joe's like, shh, come back to bed. Yeah. Yeah, you know, you can... You can't save all of them. It's impossible. I mean, you also have progressive extremists that want to bring it too far. I mean, technically, I'm not, like... left and right, that's so 19th century. It's like regressive, conservative, progressive, and then too far. Like AI is progressive, but it's bad. It's a bad form of progression. You know? It's like it's going forward, but in a bad way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go P4 wing now and see how that affects braking and all with the Ferrari. Safe setup. The problem about the Ferrari is that the roll bars are really not very intuitive at all, because hold on. You have hold on, actually hold on. I can't do this, we need something. I have something, hold on. I'm so sweaty, Mom spaghetti. I know you heard that. Right
I
here.
did.
Huh?
You
So,
say a bunch of stuff.
this one. I mean, I can't make the camera bigger, but this is the train. Right here. Look at this. It's bleh. It's got like lighting in here as well. The funny thing is all 4 pantographs are different. I don't know if that's on purpose, that they're all that it has 4 different pantographs. Maybe it uses like different types of, like, maybe it uses this one in Germany, this one in Luxembourg, and this one in Italy or whatever. But it's kind of funny that there's 4 different pantographs. I mean, it can't be a manufacturing error at that price, but like, yeah. All right, I'm gonna put it back. I'm gonna put it back because, I mean, if I drop it, I can still send it back, but I don't want to drop it. Okay. Debt sealed. But yeah, like you just can't do anything about that. You know, it's like every time, basically every time I read Instagram comments, I lose brain cells.
Have good one, a DB.
Have a good one. You know, like if I read Instagram comments, I just lose brain cells because there's people that they just have a certain ideology and you can't get them out of there, right? Because basically they've attached their ideology to their survival in their brain. You know, it's like if they lose, like if they were wrong, they would die. And I don't know why it just crashed, but okay, whatever. Then I'm gonna do the Ferrari tomorrow. I'm not gonna go back in because to go back in, I would need to restart Steam and then like all that, and so I'm just gonna close the whole. But yeah, basically, what you should have learned today is that you can't save all the people, and there's just a lot of people that are stupid, and the world's cruel and unfair, and if you want to make a better world, then you need to make sure that the bad people don't get into positions of power and just like sit in their basement and do nothing there. But in the end, well, I think, I don't know, 13, but I gotta say, this is the lowest point of my existence, because I was in, maybe I was in other galaxies, but I was definitely in a star once. For example, like all the parts of me were probably in different parts of the universe, and eventually, you know, the sun's gonna explode, all that. My parts will be again in all parts of the universe, right? So this is like this temporary state of unfortunate consciousness is the lowest point that the existence of all the pieces that I'm comprised of can have. Yes. So with that said, that brain fuck that might have not made sense. I don't know. I feel like philosophy is just like screaming random shit at clouds until somebody thinks that what you just randomly screamed is profound. In most cases. So like you have like a philosopher, oh, great thinker. Oh, wait a minute, what did he think about his sister? Huh? So, with that said, I'm gonna have to look at the soup thing now. I have to look at the soup now.
Yeah, just follow. It's in that video because I mean, the channel in general is just great because historical cooking and recreating historical recipes is just something that I latched on to.
All right. Well,
both that video is for the soup I had, and if you look further into the channel, you'll find some other gold nuggets.
Nice. I'm now gonna have 2 pieces of strawberry cheesecake chocolate.
Pog.
Yes, that's a real sentence. That's a real product. It's unfortunate for Milka, which is a piece of shit company, but it's the only product of them that is actually good. So, and nobody else makes it. So like, it's like the one time when you want capitalism to provide you for variety, so you can buy from a company that's not scummy. That one time they don't give it to you. You know, there's like 17 different manufacturers of cans of beans there, and you just want beans. Like it just doesn't matter. It's just beans. I mean, some of them will probably have poison in them if they're from Nestle or whatever. They probably don't, but maybe they do. So, I'm going to make a legally ambitious statement so that nobody can, yeah, whatever. But basically, you have like 17 different cans of beans that may or may not include poison. But the one time you want to have a product that is very good, they get rid of it. And it's only one manufacturer, and that is a terrible company. Like, god damn it. Either way, life is unfair. Life is short. I'm going to sim race again tomorrow. Probably going to try the Peugeot. Don't know yet. What I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to drive the Porsche and the Ferrari. And then if I get in... Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the Ferrari for 10 laps, the Porsche for 10 laps. If I get into the 28s with either of them, I'll drive that one. Otherwise, it's Peugeot. So, with that said, thank you very much for watching. And I'm still completely pointless and weird. And that's probably not very good. So with that said, thank you very much. As always, stay safe. Don't die. Goodbye.
Bye.